Do you know anything about dreaming?
Dreaming?
Yes.
It's a... Yeah, maybe...
Because I had a strange dream 2 mornings ago.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What was your dreams?
My dream was that I was kind of in a cafe with friends, and I got a call on my cell phone. And I answered the phone, and it was Yoko Ono calling me.
Yoko Ono?
Yes.
And?
She told me in a very, very serious way that she was dying.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it was quite deep. The feeling of it was very personal for me. And so I told her, I felt it. I felt the emotion, her emotion, and the announcement of her death. And I guess I told her, I tried not to say too much.
Yeah.
And I think I told her that I loved her. And I've loved her for a long time. Because I've known her for 50 years now. I met her 50 years ago, this year. Okay.
This year?
Yeah.
So it's ahead of
I
birthday.
met her in 63. Okay, in Tokyo. And there was a feeling of deepness, like deep space. Or in the Japanese have a word for this, which is ma.
Ma?
Ma. Ma means emptiness, or the space in between words even. And it's quite a Zen idea. And ever since I met her, I felt that she was an embodiment of Zen, that she was... I mean, I went to Japan because I was interested in Zen.
Yeah.
I didn't study Zen. However, when I met her, I thought, this is what I came for. This is Zen. Her person is Zen. Really, it's a kind of measure of elegance and special personhood, and her noble background as well, and her history, and that she was very bohemian, and I was very interested at that age in bohemian life living.
But how it's compatible?
How is what compatible?
Bohemian and Zen, because for me Bohemian is more expressive, more, I don't know.
Well, I think Bohemian is also very intellectual. And there's a great deal of literature in Bohemianism. I discovered Zen because of Bohemianism, because of Jack Kerouac, because of Allen Ginsberg, these writers.
Yeah, because they were in Nepal, yeah. Also, they tried to discover something which was more spiritual.
Exactly. So Bohemianism has spirituality, intellectuality. Zen has this too. Because I think basically Zen, a great deal of Zen is involved with thinking. And of course the paradox of thinking, or the paradox of thought, and all of that. And Zen is very much a part of this paradox, the idea of paradox. And a kind of magical living. To live as a magical being. However, there are two kinds of Zen practice. One is a monastic meditative practice, a very rigorous ordeal, a kind of personal ordeal, a mental idea, ordeal, a mental ordeal, to find enlightenment, as
Yes.
if enlightenment is some kind of heaven sent,
Yes.
you know. And then there's,
Some more ordinary.
yes, kind of just living,
Mm-hmm.
which is called field.
Field.
Field, living in the field.
Uh-huh.
Field, the field. The field
Yes.
is the distance and the presence and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, the dream and her telling me of her death had this kind of very seriousness to it. The feeling and the image in the dream was very personal to me as well. Not just because of her, but the feeling and my visual imagination, my visual experience in the dream was something that I had experienced as a child, in fact.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And so it had a very profound feeling for me.
Mm-hmm.
Serious. So, nothing was resolved in the dream.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was walking and I came upon a table and a person sitting at the table. And the person was sitting there with his head in his hands like that, as though he was in despair, or like this. And I came around and looked at him. And his face was kind of puffy and whitened. And he was in despair. And it was my father.
Oh.
It was my father,
Oh.
who has died many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling me that he was dying,
Oh.
and that he was sad about dying because he had some unfinished work.
Yes.
Probably something that many people who die
Yeah.
say,
I have not finished.
right, I have not finished the job yet. Exactly. Not everybody is that way, but maybe people who are ambitious, creative people, etc. Especially creative people. Yeah.